Hey, I got a question for you. Are you an active B2B consultant? Are you an experienced professional who is looking to start into the consulting industry? Or are you a student wondering whether or not starting a career in consulting is worth it? If yes to any of those questions, you are a great fit to have a 15 minutes free coaching call with me. And during that call, we will be looking at your career and life goals, as well as your current and past experiences. And we will also be able to figure out whether or not we can together build a roadmap towards building your desired career with your desired lifestyle. So don't hesitate to get in touch with me at consultinglifestyle.fm/coaching. COACHING. Consultinglifestyle.fm/coaching. Now, let's go and listen to the episode. Hello and welcome to the Consulting Lifestyle Podcast to Gisele Lempert. Gisele, how are you?
Bonjour Diogene, comment ça va? I'm good, and you?
Ça va bien?
Oui.
Thank you. Shall I say it in Spanish? I don't know. What is it? Hola?
Hola,
Hola, ¿qué
¿qué
tal? Hola,
tal?
¿qué tal?
Sí.
Actually, I don't know if I did pronounce well your last name. I pronounce it in French, I know.
I love it. Yes,
Yeah,
people call me that in France, but here is Gisele Lempert. So,
Lempert. Okay.
but it's French, so you're doing it perfectly.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So, thanks. So, can you, now that you have spoken about your name, and you're here, can you share maybe like the highlights of your career story? So, I know that you are co-owner of Vende Más,
Mhm.
which you will explain. You do consulting mostly with a CRM, but you will give more detail on that. But before that, can you like share your career story?
Oh, okay, my career story. So I started studying advertising because I am and was very creative and I needed an outlet for my ideas. So I studied that and I started very early in digital advertising and like I started managing. So can I go back a little bit more? My dad is
Yes.
an entrepreneur and
Ah.
he has a technology company. So I started working there very early. I started my internships there and then I took over the marketing side of things. And then the marketing and sales things, I started doing like revenue operations there.
Mhm.
And so I started managing everything. I came to know HubSpot in 2014, following the blog when blogs didn't exist. And I started the
Mhm.
blog there very early and started doing webinars back then and like
So when you
got
say early,
yeah.
when you say early, it means that you're in your early 20s or you're a teenager. Is it what you mean?
Well, I started learning about technology around 4 when I had knowledge because if
Okay.
you have an entrepreneur in your family, you know that that's all that
Yeah.
happens in the house.
Mm.
So back then, I'm from 83 and having technology or a computer in your house in Argentina, because I'm from Argentina, wasn't
Mhm.
normal. So I got to know DOS. Do you know the DOS in Windows?
Yeah, MS-DOS, MS-DOS, something
Yes,
like that.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. So I'm playing Prince of Persia. Did you get to know that video game, Prince of Persia?
I knew, but I did not play, but I knew. Yeah.
Well, it was from my time, and I got to get involved with computers like that, and I started going to their office during the weekends or during my holidays. So I got to know technology from a very young age, and at 14 or 16, I did internships answering the phone, getting to understand basic things on how to answer if a client had an inquiry and such. And then I started formally working, I would say like at 18 or 20 while I was in university.
Okay. Okay.
Um, yeah, so back then I started. And I guess at 22 or so, I was fully involved in the marketing area. And that's when my career really happens after I got my university degree.
Okay. Have you ever had an employer? So out of university, you created Vende Más, or?
No, I created Vende Más with my partner in 2019. So we moved from Argentina to Spain
Mhm.
because we live in Spain now in 2019, and we were in a new country full of opportunities, full of knowledge and experience. And we said, the whole world is in front of us. What can we do? And we
Mhm.
decided to go forward and create Vende Más.
Wow, I assume it's not common. I mean, you move to a new country, and one of the first thing you do, you create a business. It's no, maybe it's the same language, Spain and Argentina, but still, it's another it's another environment. And
Mhm.
if I say why Vende Más, I assume okay, you have always been in technology and in marketing, and that's what you do. But did you always wanted to create it necessarily with one partner? Did you have a vision as to who you would approach in Spain with your company?
Um, no.
Mhm.
When I came here, I have two children, and my baby was 4 months old. And all I knew was that I wanted to be at home with her so that I could see her grow and share like the baby years. So I said, what do I know? What are my strengths? What's my background? How can I help people while doing what I like? That's being with my children and my family. And when I started sharing this, like I talked to my dad. He's very good at business. He's always been very good at advising me because he's in the consultant lifestyle. So we started talking, opportunities started arriving. I knew HubSpot since 2014. So I had all this knowledge. I wasn't aware of it until I started consulting on it because CRM was on the rise in 2019, 2020 when COVID hit and everybody needed the digital transformation. When teams started working from home and
Mhm.
like sharing a data sheet wasn't enough, they needed more infrastructure. So it like the perfect storm in a good way, and
Yeah.
I surfed the wave.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Great. But yeah, saying that you have mentioning that you also have young, very young children, it's make it even more courageous and special. Maybe natural when you speak, it's clear that it's natural to you, but to a lot of people, is like, oh no, I should not create a business now because I have children. But it's actually the and that's the essence of consulting lifestyle, is because you want to be able to choose to spend time with them, that you created the company. So. You hinted at that, so the pandemic has had an impact to your business. So how did you see it? Is it that you were reaching out, so you and your co-founder were reaching out to customers, prospects, or they were coming at you? You had created the website and then they came at you.
Well, so we were well known in Argentina back in the day.
Mm.
And when we were there and we came to Spain, and like if you like to help people, people appreciate it and they get back to you when they need to solve another thing.
Mhm.
So that's what I was able to develop was mostly good relationships. So when people had something they needed to solve, they would come to me and they know that if I can help, I would, and if not, I would recommend someone to do it. I wouldn't say yes if I couldn't do it. So people started reaching out. I did have Vende Más a website, but it was very new. You have to work on the SEO to get it to perform well, and we just started. And we were working with ads back then, and then the whole ad um, structure changed because when everybody went home because of COVID, everybody started investing in digital ads, so the price went really
Mm. Up.
high for
Yeah.
the cost per lead. So that became a challenge when you're starting, that you have like limited budget to
Mhm.
invest in publicity. So that was challenging. And then the all the cookie idea of a cookieless world, the third party data being like prohibited in the future, you needed to get ready for that. So we started more like a digital agency, and we saw that maybe it was a time to change our strategy. Like we weren't seeing a very easy future if we got into that world more like of another marketing agency. So we decided to focus on our strengths, that is the consultancy, the business knowledge, because we worked in technology, and technology moves through every area of the company, so we
Yeah.
have that knowledge, and well, the HubSpot and the implementation side of things. And that's when our business really started to flourish.
Yeah, great. So, as you said, yeah, you're a partner with the CRM platform HubSpot,
Mm-hmm.
which is growing a lot in the past years. Did you are you only partner with HubSpot, or do you also partner with other tools? And did you explore maybe other CRMs?
Okay. So with CRMs, we only partner with HubSpot, but while working with clients, we started identifying other needs. So we partner with other technologies, like for example, BHN Rewards, which is a platform for digital rewards and reward systems, like which started to rise very, very much in the COVID era too, when you
Mhm.
needed to get another incentive for people to join your webinar, or you wanted to reward employees. And we saw that our clients were in the search for that. And it was like something that made sense because PHN is also part of the ecosystem of integrations with HubSpot. So we can still grow in a way that makes sense, where we can still focus on our core strength and not start to divide our efforts. Like we still focus and we can do things that are related to our core. So when we look for partnerships, we look for partnerships that make sense with our core business, which is consulting based on the HubSpot platform.
Yeah, very important what you said, because as soon as something works, maybe in a business, some people may search for something completely unrelated and have to create a whole new funnel, a whole new messaging to make it work. So yeah, it does make sense. And today, so you started Vende Más, two people about 4 years ago. Today, are you what is the team? Are you still two people, or do you have employees or partners with whom you work?
So I like the direction is still based on our partner, with my partner and I, and we trust the development of our growth with different partners.
Hmm.
So because we tried the employee thing, and we have um, some employees for some things, but when you really need to trust your business, we believe that partners own their own business and take it more responsibly or more seriously that sometimes employees do. It's hard to say that, but it's what we encountered sometimes. Like, well, that's the experience some people have. Well, we are not particularly good at managing human resources as employees. It's a challenge. And I believe if you do it well, you have to have a separate human resource area where they manage everything that needs to be managed, and we are not there yet. So we have partners, and they are marvelous, and they work very, very well, understanding everything that needs to be done with quality assurance, so that we know that our customers will be happy.
Yes, uh, and uh, uh, and to stress on what you say, um, I think the economy is going more and more towards what we say a gig economy, where we talk upon we call upon a few specialists to do specific specific task or execute specific projects, rather than growing and growing company, mostly a service company. As we see since the past month, we see a lot of layoffs in all sectors, but also in technology companies. So no, and I think that's where we are going.
Yeah,
The gig
the
economy, a little
the
bit what you mean.
yeah, that's a very big issue for me. I believe it has to a company needs to be sustainable, not only in the revenue side, but in when you hire people, you're hiring people that have families, that have histories, and it's not the same for me if I need to hire them today and fire them tomorrow. It's I wouldn't be able to sleep with this at night. So unless I'm sure that I can support that infrastructure, I rather take another path until I get there, like
Mhm.
well, the world needs to be sustainable. I believe companies need to adhere to the sustainability concept as well. It's not sustainable to hire 2,000 people and then fire 500 tomorrow. That means there was a lack of planning, or a lack of correction when you were seeing the numbers change. So I believe that's an old system, or an old way that needs to be replanned, like
Yeah,
to avoid all this that is happening. Because as you saw with the layoffs, the industries get scared, and it has a major impact on economy. It's not that nothing happens. So I believe that needs to change for the better of the world.
yeah, no, I agree, and I think we are going there because, as you said, if we lay off hundreds of people, it's hundreds of people that have mortgages, kids to bring to school, etc. So it is, yeah, it is a stress. It is a stressful experience. In terms of the services that you offer to your client, are they more based on projects? Or some companies, some consulting companies, they only execute specific projects, like we implement the HubSpot CRM, for example,
Mhm.
or it's more like a fixed, a really fixed punctual need. Okay, I need my website to be corrected, etc. I need a developer. What type of engagements you have with your clients?
Well, we mostly work with retainers.
Mhm.
As we are consultants, they usually come with an issue they need to solve, and we start advising, we start uncovering the issues. Other areas of the company start getting engaged, and by the end of the I don't remember the word in English.
The end
Um,
of the month, the period.
no, at the end of the first consultancy, you get to
Mm.
uncover many, many things that need to be worked on, so that they can reach their goals, so that they can optimize their processes, or the time they spend doing things. So we usually work like in bigger type of companies, not really, really big, but around 50 and 200 employees,
Mhm.
where there's a lot of work to be done. Like when something happens, there's something new to be improved, or some other idea that wants to be applied, or a new marketing campaign. So we worked with different teams working on alignment. So with marketing, sales, service, and like it's really nice because you don't get bored. You always work with somebody new, with new processes. some new thing that came up that you need to solve, or a new area that's being created based on what you solved. So I think it's very cool.
Ah, that's good. And do you have you mentioned a size in terms of type of company? Is there also a geography or a specific industry that you work with, or it's open?
Well, we work mostly with Spanish speaking countries. So Spain and Latin America, but industry related, we work mostly with services companies and technology companies that are B2B, and most of them have a really innovative value around them. So they are keen on
Mm.
moving forward, keen on implementing new things, on testing new technologies, or on doing things in a different manner.
Yeah, that's important indeed. If the owner or the leadership of the company is open to new technologies, the discussion gets more, let's say, more productive, or you can go forward easier rather than having to kind of convince the person that it is useful to look for other
Mm,
technologies. Okay,
yeah.
that's great, and that's pretty specific, and it's a big market. The Spanish speaking market is like maybe the
Hmm.
full continent. There are also a few countries outside of Spain and Latin America that speak Spanish, but it's not many. But um,
Well, those are where we have clients. There's always a room for growth, but we like since we live in Spain and we are acquainted with the culture and everything here, and we are from Latin America, it's like an
mm,
easy transition. You
yeah,
you know
a
how
lot of
things work. If
yeah.
if they talk you about if they tell you about the difference between the dollar and their currency, you're full aware of the difference. You know, like
Mhm.
if they tell you of how they live, you know how they live. You were there, so
Yeah,
it
yeah. You can relate completely with
yeah,
the person
totally.
you. I agree. I agree. And if you have to give uh, your best experience so far, like since 2019, uh, a success story or an experience that you really appreciated while working as a corner of Vende Más.
Well, I think the best experience was when we formally created Vende Más. You know that you start always in the freelance way. And when like we went and like you sign and it's created and you have like a legal number that it's
Mhm.
attributed to your company, and you have a company, and now you can say I have a company. That was major. Like,
Okay.
wow.
And how did you come up with the name actually? Because in English it means sell more or something like that, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So the idea when we started was that we wanted to help companies, which is the same as the idea as we have now, to sell. When you say vende más, is not necessarily to sell more, but like, or yes, well, or sell more efficiently, or sell
Mm.
like in a better way. Sometimes people like work so hard on the getting the lead, and then they close the deal and they don't talk to the client anymore. They don't make sure the client is happy. They don't get the resell or the upsell or the cross sell because they're only focusing on getting the new lead. And which is the same concept of being sustainable. Like if you have
Mhm.
something that it's growing, make sure it keeps growing. You know, like there's always such a rush to do things, and many people don't stop to think how they can improve what they already have and make it better and make it grow on that. So that was the idea of Vende Más. You can sell more like in quantity, but also sell better, like get better results for the um, salespeople. It meant that if they use the CRM, they will have more information to close more deals, to improve the rates in between stages in their funnel. So um, that's the idea behind
Mhm.
the name.
That's a great vision, and that's also something important for consultants, service providers. Instead of always or often looking for that new client that can be, I don't know, we always think that it can be bigger than the previous one. Why not? We are already working with a client, and if that client is already satisfied with what you do, you might be able to deepen the relationship with uh, that existing client. So yeah, that's a great that's a great point. So I really like all the aspects that we have that we have approached, but maybe one thing because that you said it at at the start. So how do you see it, the combination of yeah, you being a young mother and the co-owner, how do you find? I think the balance is almost impossible to find, but how do you, um, yeah, how do you combine those two duties? I guess it's not easier.
Um, well, so my kids know that sometimes I have to work, like when we're in the between implementations, like sometimes, like if you close two, three big implementations in the same month, they know I will be like in hectic mode, but I always have the freedom to go pick them up from school, go take them to school, and like share meaningful moments during the day. And also, when I'm like in the crazy times of a lot of work, I can work during the night and spend time with them. Like it's a lot of effort on my end, but like for me, family is everything, and um, it makes sense to keep me happy and see that
Mhm,
they are okay. So also it's funny because they know many business terms and sometimes they sit next to me and they see charts and graphs and they ask me things and they start like getting to know like if it was a mini MBA on business here.
mhm.
So I think that's cool.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe in the 2000 in 2 decades or 3 decades, they will be saying, at 4 year old, I I started I
That
started
would
to
be
know about
lovely.
marketing.
Yeah, that would
So
be very nice.
yeah, that's amazing, and actually, it was not really planned, but today is like the International Woman Day,
Yes,
so
yes.
I believe that that question was really fitting with the team because it's really combining being a working mom. It's really something that is not easy and something that yeah a lot of mothers have to navigate. Um, you actually answered it maybe a little bit, but I would like to ask you like the last question of the show, which is what does having a consulting lifestyle mean to you?
Well, I believe it's a mindset. Like you probably agree, like most consultants are very curious, like they want to get to the end of things. Why are you doing this in such a way? What are you trying to achieve? How long have you been doing it this way? Like we're full of questions. It's like really a mindset. Like if you talk to anyone, you will probably start consulting on almost like a psychologist. I don't know. Like you want to understand how things work, how you can make them better, how can you help. Uh, so I believe that when you are like that and you understand that you bring value to others by being like that, um, you start to appreciate that mindset. Sometimes it can be annoying for people when you get in the consultant way, but if they get to appreciate and understand what you're trying to do, um, they get to uncover something that the solution to something they wanted to solve. So
Yes. That's a great answer, and yeah, that mindset of curiosity is certainly maybe the biggest reason why I created the podcast anyway. So I totally agree. So I don't know if there is something else you would like to share to the audience. Otherwise, you could tell them how if someone wants to get in touch with you or with Vende Más, how they can find you.
okay, so they can find me on LinkedIn, Gisele Lempert, like my name. And if they want to search for Vende Más, is www.vende, like VENDE MAS
Mhm.
dash MKT as marketing.com.
Okay, okay, excellent. So we will put all those links in the show notes, and mostly if you are bilingual, English, Spanish, definitely. For at least you speak Spanish, but definitely try to reach out to Giselle and her company. So it was really wonderful to have you on the show, and
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you
that's
for having me.
yeah, you're welcome, and hopefully we can talk again soon. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to the Consulting Lifestyle Podcast. If you have enjoyed the episode, leave a review on iTunes or one of your preferred podcasting platform. And if you want to further our relationship, please join our community. Our community is available at consultinglifestyle.fm/community. Looking forward to keep in touch with you.